Welcome to ESC Podcast, your premier destination of the mastering in the art of financial management in spoken English today. In this podcast, we are delving into the world of personal finance, exploring the practical strategies and expert insights to help us achieve financial freedom and success. From budgeting and saving to investing and beyond, we all cover it all. Join on the journey towards financial empowerment as we discuss the latest trend, share real life examples. So here I have my two shining stars, Diksha and Deepthi. They're going to interact on it there. So learn English swiftly with them. Over to you, my shining stars.
Hey Diksha, have you ever thought about how we can better manage our finances?
Yeah, I have been thinking about it a lot lately. I feel like I am not saving enough and I am always struggling to make ends meet.
I know what you mean. I have been to create a budget for myself, but it's hard to stick to it.
Exactly, I have tried budgeting apps and spreadsheets, but I always seem to overspend.
One thing that's helped me is the 50-30-20 rule. Have you heard of it?
No, what's that?
It's where you allot 50% of your income towards necessities like rent and utilities, 30% towards discretionary spending, and 20% towards saving the debt repayment.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, it's really helped me prioritize my spending. And I have also been trying to cut back on unnecessary expenses.
Like what?
Well, I used to spend a lot on dining, but out the subscription services I didn't use, but now I have cut back on those things and put that money towards my saving.
That makes sense. I have been trying to cut back on my coffee habit.
Yeah, that can be a tough one, but every little bit helps, right?
Definitely. So, what about investing? I have been wanting to get into that.
Investing, it's a whole other beast. But I have been doing some research and I think it's really important to start early.
Yeah, I have heard that, but I don't know where to start.
Well, I have been looking into index funds and ETFs. They are a good way to diversify your portfolio without having to pick individual stocks.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll have to look into that.
And I have been also thinking about retirement saving. Have you started thinking about it?
Yeah, I have been trying to contribute to my 401k at work.
That's great. It's so important to start early. I have been trying to contribute as much as I can.
Yeah, me too. But it's hard when you are not making a lot of money.
I know what you mean, but even small contribution can add up our time.
That's true. Okay, so what about credit cards? I have been trying to pay off my debts.
Oh, credit cards, they can be so tempting, but they are also so dangerous.
Tell me about it. I have been trying to pay off my balance in full each month.
That's the best way to do it. But if you can't try to pay more than the minimum payment.
Okay, got it. And what about emergency funds? I have been trying to build one up.
Oh, emergency funds, that's the are so important. I have been trying to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses.
That's a good idea. I'll have to aim for that.
And finally, I have been thinking about long-term goals. Have you thought about it? What you want to achieve financially?
Yeah, I have been thinking about buying a house someday.
That's a great goal. Have you been about starting my own business?
Wow, that's exciting. I'll have to support you.
Thanks, Diksha. I will need it.
So, Mrs. Dipti, can you tell me more about your experience with investing?
Of course, Diksha. I have been investing for a new year now. I have learned a lot.
Like what?
Well, first of all, it's important to diversify your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
That makes sense. What else?
Also, don't try to time the market. Just invest regularly and let your money grow over time.
And what about retirement savings? I'll feel like I am not doing enough.
Retirement saving, it's so important to start early. I have been trying to contribute as much as I can to my 40K and IRA.
Yeah, me too. But I feel like I am not doing enough. Should I be contributing more?
Yeah, me too. But I feel like I'm not doing enough. So I I be contributing more?
Okay, that
Well,
makes sense.
it depends
About
on
other
your
stuff,
individual circumstances, but generally it's good idea to contribute at least enough to take full advantage of any company match.
Thanks, Mrs. Dipti. Really appreciate it.
Of course, Diksha, that's what friends are for.
So, what about insurance? I feel like I'm not adequately insured.
Insurance, it's so important to have adequate coverage. Have you considered term life insurance and disability insurance?
Yeah, I have thought about it, but I don't know what kind of coverage I need.
Well, it depends on your individual circumstances, but generally, it's good idea to have enough term life insurance to cover your outstanding debts and funeral expenses.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about disabilities insurance?
Yeah, disability insurance, it's so important to have adequate coverage in case you are become unable to work.
Yeah, I can see that. I have to look into it.
And finally, Diksha, have you thought about asset planning, estate planning?
Yeah, yeah, I have thought about it, but I don't know where to start.
Well, it's always a good idea to have a will and a living trust. And you should also consider power of attorney and healthcare directives.
Okay, got it. I'll have to look into it.
And don't forget to review and update your estate plan regularly.
Okay, well, thanks for the advice, Mrs. Dipti.
Of course, Diksha, I'm always here to help.
Well, Mrs. Dipti, I think that's all the questions I have for now. Thank you so much for your time and advice.
You're welcome, Diksha. It was my pleasure to help. Remember, managing your finances is a journey, not a destination. Stay disciplined, stay patient, and you will reach your goal in on time.
I will, Mrs. Dipti. Thanks again for everything.
Anytime, Diksha. Now go out there and crush your financial goals.
Will do. Bye, Mrs. Dipti.
Bye, Diksha. Take care.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We hope you found today's episode informative, insightful, and empowering. Remember, financial management is a journey, not a destination. Take control of your finances, stay disciplined, and keep moving forward. Join us the next time for experts' advice, real life examples, practical strategies to help you and achieve financial freedom. Until then, stay financial fit and prosperous. Especially the most important thing that keep listening to us and learn English swiftly.
Swiftly.
Swiftly.